Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to finally share with you a schedule that after a lot of work is finally sticking in our homeschool. If you're new to this channel, I'm a homeschooling mom with 2 kids at home. My daughter is 10 and in 5th grade and my son just turned 4. All right, so I have spent 13 weeks honing this schedule. And as of last week, I have finally got my schedule to where I can finally share it with you. I did buy this School Nest planning notebook. However, it was really big. It had 52 weeks in it and it had dailies, which is what I thought I wanted, but it was huge. So I tried to take it apart and bind it myself and it just didn't work, but I really liked the cover, so I kept that. So what I did keep from this planner is I kept our attendance log. I kept these progress trackers they have. I really like that. And I also kept some of the monthly calendars. So what I did is I created a weekly schedule. So here is our finalized weekly schedule. And kind of how it starts every day is we do about 4.5 days a week for homeschooling. So we'll start with independent work in the morning. So my daughter gets up between 6 and 7, depending on the day. And she's pretty raring to go by 7. Her mind is really working then. Not well enough to do math, but well enough to definitely do most of her language arts block. She just really loves that sort of stuff, loves the workbooks, loves the independent work. So that works perfect. She'll eat her breakfast and do her independent work while I'm making breakfast, making my husband's lunch, eating, making sure everyone's eating. And so I'm always here while she's doing her independent work because I'm either, again, in the kitchen, breakfast, lunches, or I'm eating my own breakfast. And then when she's done with independent work, I will go and take my morning walk. I used to take my morning walk while she was doing her independent work, but it doesn't get light until so much later now. So this is how we've kind of adjusted it. So during her independent time, for example, Monday through Thursday, she'll practice her times tables every day. And I do have a book for that, 100 Days of Times Tests. This is going well. And then she'll do her spelling, which she'll do copy work and chunking. And then the next day we'll do dictation and chunking, copy work and chunking, and the next day dictation and chunking. I did talk about how I break this down in my October update, but that's how we've broken down spelling, you see. Then she'll do combined sentences. I've talked about this. We take 3 or 4 sentences, and she has to combine them into 1 or 2 sentences. Vocab 240. Editing a short paragraph, word ladders, grammar, editing long paragraph. Now, what I mean by editing along a short paragraph is I've showed this before in my curriculum picks, but I have 2 different editing paragraph programs I got from Teacher Pay Teachers. One is just a short paragraph that they will edit. The long, what I call editing long paragraph, has a paragraph to edit as well as combining sentences, activity, and then some vocab questions on the side. So it's got a little bit more going on. Grammar at this point is pretty much independent for her, but I'm there to help her if she needs anything. So at that point, I'll go on my walk. It's usually 35 to 45 minutes, depending on how tired I am. She'll just unload her dishwasher really quick, and then she can just play for the rest of the time. And then when I get back, she gets ready. I get my son ready. Then I'll go jump in the shower and start getting ready while she does her math in my room. We do primary mathematics. We use it in conjunction with a video subscription, Wisdom Wonder Project. Best thing ever. I'll have a video out probably by the end of the year on this. So she'll listen to it and do her work, but I'm there for her to ask questions if she needs. That's why I have her do it in my room, also to make sure that it's getting done. And that works out well. Then when we're done, we'll go downstairs, the 3 of us, my son, my daughter, and myself, and we'll do what I call a meditation circle. Essentially, it's where we all sit down together. I teach them different breathing and meditation techniques. I'm an avid meditator. I'm a big advocate of meditation. And so I'm really trying to show them at a young age and build these habits. Specifically at this point, I'm just teaching them to breathe and have a little bit of quieting their mind. But then I have tons of different activity cards that they choose from, and we discuss from any topics from how to have empathy, different growth mindsets, different affirmations. I'll actually probably have to make a whole video on this because I have a lot of resources that I use. And then I end with what I call a safe circle, and they can talk about anything on their mind, anything that's bothering them. And you wouldn't think my now 4-year-old would have a lot to say, but he really, really has a lot to say. So that's really nice. So that takes us maybe 10 minutes. And then I'll set my 4-year-old up with an activity to do, or sometimes just a show. And then me and my daughter will go do our last block. So now we've gotten through our independent activity in math. Then we start every day with what I call MH is for mental health and poetry. So every day she'll read to me 2 or 3 different poems. She absolutely loves doing that. Not even 5 minutes we'll spend on this, but she loves it. And we'll start reading the mental health book that we have. This takes maybe 5 minutes. Last month we did Dude That's Rude, and this month we're doing The Care and Keeping of You. We just go through it, read through it every day. I have several different books. If you want to check out which ones I'm going to be using, go check out my curriculum video, but we just keep reading through those. Then we'll go into what I call our loop schedule. So this is writing and rhetoric or MOSTAS, and this is our science/unit study. And you can see it's the same for every day. So we're either doing writing and rhetoric or MOSTAS. So MOSTAS press literature is the literature program we're using. I love this. I've talked about this a lot in my videos. I have an exclusive video about this if you have more questions. But this takes us 2 to 3 days. 2 days if on the second day we've gotten through a lot of the work and I'm not loving the creative writing project, or it's not something that my daughter's really vibing with, then we'll go straight on to writing and rhetoric. If I do like it, it takes us about 3 days. So, and writing and rhetoric takes us about 4 days on average, but lately it's even been 3. So 3 to 4 days here. For example, today we did MOSTAS, and we'll probably do MOSTAS tomorrow, and then we'll go into writing and rhetoric for a couple days, meaning the next week we'll start out with a couple of writing and rhetoric and then maybe a couple more MOSTAS. So I found by doing it just on this loop schedule, I've gotten a lot further with it, especially on MOSTAS Press. Prior to this, I had just been doing 1 week writing and rhetoric, 1 week MOSTAS, and it wasn't enough. So that's working really well. Then the last thing we do is we do science or unit study. I try to do science a minimum of 2 times, but I aim for 3. However, like in the month of October, we did the Halloween unit study. We would do Mondays and Wednesdays science, and then these other Tuesday, Thursday, we would do our Halloween unit study. So it just depends on what we have going on. Like in the month of November, I have 2 Thanksgiving units, one on gratitude, one on leaves. So that will fill in Tuesday, Thursday. And I move them around. Like if she's not in the mood for science that day, we'll do another unit study, or I just, I give myself flexibility, but I make sure I do at least 2 days of science, if not 3. And we're also, at some point we're going to be starting geography, and that will fill in on the unit studies. And that's how we end our days. Now for Fridays, I have math. I do those 5 days a week. And then I have Big Life Journal and art. Big Life Journal I've talked about before. We do the journal along with the podcast and the activities. It's awesome. Awesome, guys. Seriously, check it out. They have ones for 8 to 10-year-olds. They have one for preteens. I'm not sure if they have teenagers. I think they might. So great. But that's about 40 minutes about. So that is a commitment. And art, so I have this note here. Friday's items can be done on Saturday, Sunday, or any other day during the week if the time is open. Sometimes art for the week correlates with the science or unit study, and therefore no art on Friday. But honestly, truly, my daughter does art throughout the week, and oftentimes we'll be filling in Big Life Journal and art throughout the week at different times. I just wanted to have a designated place where I could check it off. And a lot of times we don't do math on Friday. A lot of times we won't do anything on Friday. We'll do it on the weekend because my daughter will get bored and ask to have schoolwork. So there's our schedule. It seems to be working really well. It's not too much for my daughter in one area or another. It's not too light. It's just perfect. So I'm really hoping, cross my fingers, that it still keeps going well. As I mentioned, we do homeschool Monday through Thursday, and then Friday or during the weekend, we do math and a few other items. She does go to outdoor school half the day from 12 to about 4:15 on Mondays. So we do homeschool in the morning. My mom also comes over Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday and does French and history with my daughter from 1 to maybe 2 or 2:30. Even though that seems like a lot, my daughter really does have a lot of free time to herself to do her art, to do her reading, to play outside, and just be a normal kid. So that's been working great. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments, and I'll see you on my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye, guys.